Hey guys, this is Coop from Garage Gym Reviews. Today we're going to review 5 different useful and useless pieces of gym equipment. Let's do it. Do they make my arms look bigger?
Yeah.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Okay. This first one is called the Genesis Jack from a company called Clevabuilt. Clevabuilt or Clevabuilt, something like that. This is the first version. We did one called, the video is called the greatest deadlift jack of all time. You may be thinking these look like a weapon. They do look like a weapon, but what they are is they're deadlift jacks. And they're an extremely well-designed deadlift jack with a very small footprint that's portable and works well. This first version is this right here. And it works, it's a good version. However, we did a review on it and we basically gave a lot of recommended updates. Well, that's this bad boy. They basically took everything we said and added it to it, and it's now not only more aesthetically pleasing, but it's also more protective. So basically what they did was they took the original design that works, they added UHMW plastic handle right here that just conforms. Watch this conform. Beautiful. And then they also added the feet, basically UHMW plastic, to protect not only your shins and things like that when you're using it, but also protect your platforms. So this is how it works. Rather than using a conventional deadlift jack, which is right here, notice how it's relegated in the darkest part of the gym. It's because it doesn't get used, because we use these bad boys. So rather than using one of those, you have one of these that's smaller, easier to use, and works really well. So when you go to change out the weight, you stick this bad boy under here, pull back. It's now lifted off the ground, so you can go grab another plate. I'm gonna grab the 75 pounders, put it on here. Perfect. Pull it forward to release. Okay. There are definitely some like downsides to this versus a huge deadlift jack. One is you have to do both sides separately. So you do one side, come back, put the weight on, then do the other side. They can also be kind of wobbly if you don't have weight on one of the ends, but I've loaded this up. I think we did one with like 800 pounds or something, and because the load is completely vertical, there's not really any issues with this bending. It's pretty stiff. It just works really well. So go in here, come back. I mean, honestly, the design, everything about it is very well thought out. The rivets are recessed. The feet are plastic, so they're, I mean, look how those are recessed. That's nice. Nice logo, simple design. It's priced really well. It's just a cool deadlift jack. It just works. I don't know. I really like it. I think it's a unique and useful piece for you guys that train at home. If you do deadlifts, you want a deadlift jack, want something a little bit better than like a dead wedge that's cheap, but something that's not as expensive as like, you know, a full-on deadlift jack is a good option. All right, let's do number 2. Okay, this number 2 is called the Hammerhead Fit Press. Honestly, I don't know if they make this anymore. It wouldn't be because we reviewed it, because we didn't say it was bad, but I just don't know if they're around anymore. That said, this is a very cool piece. So for anything else, it may just be something where another company sees this design, sees that it works, and ends up making it. So the idea behind this is really so you can press with it, overhead press, things like that, but the way that we use it is just for push-ups. So you basically set it on the ground, and it allows you to do neutral grip push-ups, kind of like a multi-grip bar, but there's an added stability component. So you're like basically controlling how stable you are while also doing push-ups. There's 3 different grip widths. You have the wide one, the close one, and then the closer you get together, the more tricep dominant your press will be, like that. I mean, it's actually, I mean, it doesn't look that hard, but because of the way that it's rounded, holding the stability is actually, you know, somewhat difficult and does add a unique part to the movement. You can also use them for planks, things like that. I know like in their ads and things like that, in their marketing, they talked about using it for like, you know, classes where you do this and stuff like that, but I'm not about that life because it doesn't load, it's just this. So I think it's a one-dimensional product that's very expensive. I think this is aluminum, so it doesn't rust or anything like that. It is knurled. So nice knurling on there. So it's great for push-ups. One thing or a couple things I would like to see. I would like to see them basically make it so it can be a curl bar, so they could add loadable pins out to the side. It's kind of similar in theory to the Cadillac bar. So I don't know if you've seen the Cadillac press bar from Kabuki Strength, but it's kind of like that. And then I also wish that they would put a bar right down the middle with a little pulley, and then you can use it for lat pull downs. So very one-dimensional product, but if you like push-ups and want something that's a little unique and challenging, different, it's great for that. All right, let's do number 3. These are the most overbuilt J-cup I think that are in existence. As you can see, they have what's called a 12-inch backboard. These are the longest J-cups I've ever held. Not the longest thing I've ever held, just the longest J-cups. So these go in just like any other J-cup. The difference is they've got a locking mechanism on the back. So they've got this anti-sway mag pin right here. Just like a hitch pin, except it's cooler and has magnets. You guys know I like magnets, so I like these. So it's got a hole in the back. Rather than these things like going out, which doesn't really happen all that much with barbells, except when you use Duffalo bars. But this allows you to basically punch this in here because of the magnet. It holds tight. There's now no swaying. It also has this like sweet, logo. Is that a blackjack, right? I think that's a blackjack. I don't play a lot of cards, but I'm pretty sure that's blackjack logo. So comes out in like that. Works really well. But in addition to that, it's just how freaking massive they are. And you're like, Coop, why would you want a J-cup that massive? Why not just use one of these from Sornex? Because you can have one this big. But other than that, I mean, it does have a couple functional benefits. One functional benefit is no matter where you put the bar on this, it's pretty much going to be protected from UHMW plastic. So it's got this huge strip here of UHMW plastic. So when you put the bar against, it's going to come down into the hook. Okay, so you're going to protect your bar. The other reason is because you're able to do some movements that you may not be able to on a normal J-cup due to the angle and how big it is. So if you want to just do calf raises, you could basically put the bar up against here and do calf raises against it. If you want to do shrugs, you could put this down below. Like here, put the bar here, stand in the middle like this, and then essentially do shrugs coming back against something. But because it's UHMW, you're able to have your bar protected the whole time. So, those are small, accessory movements. I don't think they're really enough to buy this. The reason you would buy this is because you like the way it looks. I mean, it's a cool J-cup, like everything's inset. It's really well made. UHMW plastic on the back, super well protected. But honestly, the reason you would buy this is because you like the aesthetics, which I think is cool. I think it's a cool J-cup. I like how it attaches in the back. For most people, I definitely wouldn't suggest it. It's way overboard, it's way too expensive. But if you want something that's a little unique, a little special, you like the anti-sway pins. This one's stainless steel, by the way. This one is textured black. But if you like that, it's a good option. It's from Oak Club Manufacturing, based out of Canada. They make these in Canada. It's called the James Hook. All right, let's do the next one. That's right, folks. Your favorite piece of equipment, the iron neck. Okay, although the iron neck looks absolutely goofy and stupid, there's no denying how stupid this looks. I mean, I did a video previously where we had this in there as maybe a joke, and everybody commented, man, you look really stupid. More stupid than normal, which is saying a lot. So basically the way this works is you're able to pump it up, so it's really tight on your head. Then you take this piece and attach it to either a band or a cable device. So, probably should attach this beforehand, but it's okay. Once it's attached, you basically, oh, it's too heavy. Oh, I can't change it. All right, well basically, I'll just show you how strong my neck is. I've got an iron neck. So once it's attached, man, I feel like I'm looking stupid, so I know I'm really looking stupid because I really don't feel that stupid that often. So basically what you do is you have this tension right here, and it allows you to have tension while you're turning. So you can do from the side, you can do this way, back. You can also use it for like that sort of stuff, going back. But I think mostly it's like rotational work. You can do figure eights on it. And although it, looks goofy, like every time I do this, and I'll do it maybe, I've got one in the house, I'll do it once a week or so. And my neck is sore the next day. My traps are, my neck's sore. This is not ideal for a lot of people because it's expensive, but I think really what it's designed for is athletes that are in like, combat sports or football, that sort of thing, where, CTE is a possibility, concussions, that sort of thing. And it's been shown that if you increase the strength of your neck to resist like the whiplash that happens, you may have a lower chance of concussions, and that's what this is designed for. So if you've seen neck machines before, all neck machines are basically, they're huge, they take up a ton of space, they're super expensive. Like this is designed to replace those. So rather than having a huge like hammer strength 5-way neck machine, you're able to have one of these that's a lot smaller, a lot more compact and works. So I think it's useful. I definitely think it's unique, although it is expensive. So there you go, the Iron Neck. This is the Home Edition, I think. The Pro model has an adjuster piece to tighten it down. I would suggest the Pro model. All right, let's do it. Next. The last unique and useful, before we talk about one that's useless, piece of equipment is the NLI Tbell, okay? It's next level training. This guy actually runs a gym, and he decided like he wanted to basically make a commercial version of a Tbell, and this is what he created. So if you want just a cheap Tbell, go out and buy like black iron with like some pipe conduit and some connector pieces from Home Depot, and you can make one. It's not nearly as nice as this, but it works for like 15, 20 bucks. I've used it for years. Okay, but this is basically an all aluminum version, so it's not going to corrode, and it's just higher quality, has a little bit better functionality. So the idea is you're able to use this like you would in a similar sense as you would like a kettlebell for swings, also like power stairs, deadlifts, that sort of thing. So the way that you're able to do that is it's got this little handle here. And this handle has a little knob there that basically allows you to interchange it in this little slit. I mean, it's really well thought out, but interchange it so it just locks in on its own. So you don't have to, worry about changing height very hard or anything like that. You just pull it out, change it to the next one. They then added this extra cutout right here, which you can see all throughout, right here, here, and here. And those are so you can have bands in there. So basically, you put this in here, you then attach bands and put it around your feet, and you're able to do banded deadlift. Okay, so works really well for that. They also have this extra piece that they came out with, which is a handle. So this handle allows you to do a little bit different work than you would with that handle. It's more single arm work. So this handle punches in the same holes the other ones do, locks in with the same type of button, and then it's got this rotational handle that you can use for, single arm work. You gotta understand there's plates on here, but you can also use it for like wrist rolls, curls. I mean, you can use it for presses, but again, you're gonna have the weight coming off there, so you're gonna have to make sure you use thin diameter plates, things like that. So it works well. You can use it for farmer's carries, things like that. But essentially, I mean, as you can see, it's kind of just a barbell sleeve that's had holes milled in it and then has attachments for handles. I think it's a pretty smart idea. I don't know if it's like worth getting over a traditional Tbell that you make at Home Depot. I think for most people, just go to Home Depot and make one. But if you want like a commercial version, you're gonna use it at a gym, things like that. This is really one of the best options that are out there. It's easy to change out, looks really clean, and works. Okay, NLI Tbell, check it out. Now, let's do the useless piece. All right, now I know this is gonna make some of you guys mad, because some of you guys have bought this, you were really excited about it, and then ended up in the corner of your gym, because I know that's where these end up. Nobody uses these, okay? For real, nobody uses these. This is called a dead wedge, okay? This is made from a different company called Vapor Fitness, but no joke, these are, in my opinion, pretty useless. The reason these are useless is, let me show you one of these. This is something that all of you should have in your gym already. It works pretty fine, works just as well as this. In fact, it probably does the same, pretty much exact same thing as this, except you don't have one of these laying around that you have to pay for. It's called a change plate. Here's one that's a 0.5 kilogram. You want a different height? Okay, get one that's a little bit heavier. There's a 1 kilogram. Still too low? All right, here's a 1.5 kilogram. What you do is when you're done deadlifting, you're trying to change plates, you don't have a deadlift jack, you don't need a rubber one of these. You just put this on the floor. I'll show you. This is helpful tips from Coop your dad. From Coop your dad. All right, so you put that on the floor. Let me get a barbell here. I can't believe I have to show you guys this, honestly. I mean, you guys should be thinking of it for yourself at this point. You're old enough. All right, so you got your plates on here. Let me get the other one. Show some love to the 35s. All right, so the way these work, put them down here, roll it on there. It does have the advantage that it just holds it there, but so do change plates. You put your weight on, you take it off. Here, watch this. Wow. Now watch. I'll take a plate. I know that to some of you guys, this is really, you know, I'm basically a brain surgeon, an astrophysicist. You then put your plate on. When you're done, roll it off. You're good to go. Same thing, right? So, if you're looking at a dead wedge, you're like, should I buy a dead wedge? In my opinion, I don't think you should. I think it's useless. All right, this has been Coop from Garage Gym Reviews. Thank you for watching. If you have anything that's unique and useful or absolutely useless, I'd actually like to do a video where I just show everything that's useless. Maybe in the future. I just don't want to get many calls from companies. All right, we'll see you next time. Peace.